Gay man reveals that his time in prison was like going to Disneyland. Oh Lord Jesus. Buckle up, this is about to be a wild ride. In this video, we're going to react and analyze this video and talk about lessons we can learn from this controversy. And let's have a conversation about healing and improving our dating behaviors in the LGBTQ community. Hello, my name is Victor Dream, and my mission is to share impactful stories that we can learn from, grow from, and heal from to live the life of our dreams. Let's get into it. A popular Instagram influencer named toxicity went on a series called Our Queer Life that documents and promotes queer lifestyles. Let's watch his story.
Prison was so much fun that I ended up doing a whole 3 years. Don't quote me on it being fun because I'm supposed to never ever say it. My mom actually told me never ever say it. Now I'm saying it in the interview. I enjoyed it. Like, I know that it's not like normal for somebody to say they enjoy being in prison or jail, but I enjoyed it. Imagine going to like Disneyland. Like, imagine, like, we be seeing all these men, like, on the streets or in the hood or, like, blah, blah, and they're just not accessible because there's bad out here. Why guys don't want to fuck us? There's some bad out there, and they like pussy, so they ain't gonna fuck us. But imagine these fine-ass behind bars, never able to even smell the scent of some pussy, but all they get is
your pussy.
Okay, cunts. Cunts.
Okay, so he's describing this as if we're at Disneyland because he can get straight men or down low men who don't have access to women because they're in prison. So at best, they're settling for a feminine queer man, and he's taking advantage of the situation. So he's arguing that in the real world, he has no chance of competing against these straight pretty women because they're stuck in prison. So this is his ultimate fantasy. Okay. This is also a common sentiment that I hear in the gay community. So many queer people, unfortunately, I know lots of gay men and trans women in particular who share the same sentiment that their biggest fantasy is to be with a straight man or a closeted down low man. And I think that is so problematic. I think people who go after unavailable people in this situation and any situation like this are emotionally unavailable themselves. And it's important for us to heal and to let go of that fantasy because you could end up doing a situation like this. Like, ooh, you know, there's straight men in prison and they don't have women. I guess they can have me. Like, what? What? We all deserve someone who truly wants us for us as we are. They don't have to be in a bad, desperate situation to want us. We are valuable, we are worthy, and I hope as a queer community, we call out our queer friends and direct them to getting support and help and therapy and other things to really look deeper as to why do you want to be with someone who doesn't want you? Why is your mission to turn them queer, to turn them gay? Why can't you have an actual gay or queer person who wants you for who you are? Let's continue watching.
And so that's honestly what made it fun for me. Like, I milked it for all it was worth. I was only supposed to do a year and a half, but I ended up doing a whole 3 years, and I was getting down silly by the finest. Like, oh my.
Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. He stayed an extra year and a half in prison to be with straight down low men? Are you kidding me? What? There are too many men to be doing some sad behavior like this, jeopardizing your freedom, jeopardizing your reputation, doing more crimes in prison for eggplant. That's the only way to extend your time in prison is to do more crimes or to get caught doing something you're not supposed to be doing. So he's intentionally getting into more trouble. And the sad part is American taxpayers are paying for this. They're paying for this man to be someone's prison wife. Our tax dollars could be going to something way better than you being in a fantasy. And if you want that, how about you pay for it yourself? I hope we don't normalize stuff like this because even in this interview, they're laughing and kikiing like this is normal and this is cool. And I'm like, oh my God, where have we gone? Is this the freedoms and the LGBTQ rights that we're going after? And the sad part is that this is going viral. So this is being promoted. This is what this queer podcast sharing queer lifestyles thought was important for us to see. Okay. Hopefully we get some more healthy queer stories and narratives out there. so that people don't look at us like degenerates, because this is honestly degenerate behavior. And if I were a straight person who had no access or relationships with queer people and I saw something like this, I would judge too. So come on, we gotta protect our image. I saw a comment on Instagram where someone was like, please bring shame back. Yes, absolutely. We need shame and accountability and calling out behavior like this so that young people, young queer people, don't think this stuff is normal or acceptable. Bragging on social media about toxic behavior is something that, can we please leave this in 2024? And I hope as a community that we make sure that we do the healing work so that our traumas and low functioning behavior don't come out in our sexuality. I think this is a common thing in the queer community. Let's continue watching. It's not over.
Were you forced to be sober there too?
No. I was a bad bitch in prison. Like, prison was like fun, bitch. I was fucking on the hottest and the most powerful in there. So yeah, they were bringing in like weed, cell phones, all that shit. And I would get a piece because bitch, my throat game is silly. So I give a nigga this neck, bitch, and he would give me his left organ. Like, it was silly. So no, I never went without anything. Like, I remember I had Jordans, I had to weed. Like, I was taken care of.
Okay, so not only is he hooking up with these guys, he's doing it in exchange for drugs, cell phones, and gifts. This is now selling your body. And both of them, again, are laughing like, this is so cool and funny and great. No need for therapy. No need for a life coach. No need for healing. Let's just go on a podcast and brag about our low functional behavior to hundreds of thousands of people. So cool. No, selling your body for gifts and drugs is not okay. And it's something that we as a queer community should call out. Now let's look into what people are saying on social media. One user says, that was very disgusting and disappointing to hear. Which prison did you say? Taking notes emojis. I have to admit, this one was funny, but it just kind of shows how even some of us who see that this is toxic and low functioning behavior, but part of us is like, ooh, maybe prison isn't so bad after all. Maybe if I get lonely or sad, maybe I'll just hit up a prison because real life is hard. So let me go on a vacation that the taxpayers are paying for. And I have unlimited low functioning, toxic, criminal eggplant to go for. Yay, a criminal eggplant buffet, if you will. That sounds great, doesn't it? No. One user says, these are the type of things that make people look at gay men crazy. What type of foolishness is this? And I agree. We spent decades of fighting for LGBTQ rights and freedom, and people are not respecting that. If we want people to treat us with respect, we get to do respectable things and keep our low-functioning, traumatized behaviors to our damn selves instead of promoting it for all to see. And it makes me sad that even at Pride, for example, I was so disturbed. I've gone to many prides around the world, and yes, it's beautiful to see people being their authentic self, being audacious. I'm queer and I'm proud, but many people at Pride are also doing many illegal public acts, doing degenerate, low-functional, traumatized behavior in front of everyone to see and not care about our image. Let me know your comments below. This is a conversation. What do you think? What lessons can we learn from this story as well? I have a lot of hope for our queer community. Watch my next video about lessons we can learn from an Olympic runner who was burned to death, unfortunately, by her ex-boyfriend after she competed in the Paris Olympics. I'm sending lots of love and mwah.